you, Party Peanuts. It's episode 370 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And I am on 2 hours of sleep.
Dang, kid.
I can see time.
Oh, can you see it flying away from you?
It's yes, as we slip ever more quickly into the future, I see it as a physical form, like waves of flame shooting through my eyeballs and out the back of my head.
Wouldn't it be crazy if time got faster the longer that you lived it?
I mean, oh.
Like, what if every...
That's a very strange thought for you to make me think about at this moment in time.
Well, if you're accelerating to the future, then, like, time would seem to pass more quickly as you were going through it.
I don't know.
And, like, also, doesn't it, though?
I mean, we should ask a very old person, does time seem to go faster now for you or slower?
Yeah. And I wonder if up to a point, it seems to go really quickly, and then eventually it just goes very slowly.
I bet it goes slowly because you just are, like, doing less. Because you're just like hanging out.
Well, you're really passing some judgments on old people.
I am. I truly am. Do you want to know something funny that happened to me? I'm going to tell you a dream.
Okay.
I don't know if you already know this, but speaking of time and sleep and being off it, so okay. The reason I'm on 2 hours of sleep is because we have worked the past 3 weekends doing different tournaments. And I was at Dreamhack, we're going to talk about this later, in Anaheim. And I was taking melatonin to try and help me sleep better because we had been in Hawaii and we're jet lagged and sleep schedules are all so weird.
Yeah.
And I had a dream that I was shooting a feature film and we used an actual gun in the film. Like it should have been, but we didn't have a license.
Yeah.
Like we should have used a prop. Why was I using an actual gun?
Really
Why would
don't know.
ever shoot a movie with a gun in it?
You were trying to stage a murder.
I don't know what was going on.
You were trying to create a situation for a murder that would look like an accident.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
It could have been. But the police found out about it and they were like going to come and arrest all of us because like,
as they should have.
We cannot film this movie with this real gun, obviously. But there was one nice police officer who came up and was like, hey, the cops are coming to arrest you. So get out of here quick before you start to vape or something. Which was a line I distinctly remember.
Before you start to vape or something.
Before you start to vape. And then
right.
You were very forward thinking and texted to cover up the whole crime. You texted me on WhatsApp instead of on iMessage on iPhone because you knew they wouldn't turn that data over to the police.
Oh, wow. I really, I will say if I were part of a crime, I do think that is in the realm of things that I would think of.
I feel like I would be too, jittery. I would be too messed up to think clearly.
That would be my role. I feel like my role is like I'm the person that you would go to
cool,
be like,
calm head.
Can you think of every conceivable thing that we need to think through? And I would be like, yes. Okay. How are we communicating? In what ways can you communicate that can't be tracked?
Paper trail.
One of my favorite things to do. This is gonna sound deeply suspicious.
I'm already suspicious after the setup
but
here.
if you use an iPhone, you can send people audio messages via iMessage.
Yeah.
In your Messenger app, and if they don't save it, it deletes.
But does it delete from wherever, some server in the sky?
Great question.
I don't know the answer to that
part,
but here's the weirdest part.
It's not on anybody's phone anymore.
Why would my dream brain think about this when I'm sitting here telling you that my panicked brain in a real crime would not think about this? But my weird dream brain was like, Maria, you've got to consider that the police are going to be able to track they're going to subpoena your text messages or whatever.
Dreams are so crazy. Have you ever had the thing happen where you hit snooze and you fall asleep for literally less than 10 minutes more and you have a whole dream in that time?
It's like Picard living a whole life in that one episode.
And it's literally like I've had the most epic, huge, similar to heist or action adventure film dreams.
Oh yeah.
And they literally happen in 10 minutes or less.
The wake up nap dream is the most intense dream.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now.
Dang. Wow.
Anyway, that's our segue for today.
That was
Just to explain my mental state to you. But what we're going to talk about on this episode is actually really cool because we're going to talk about Magic as an esport.
Yes. Magic has been in the esports realm now for about a year.
Yep.
And it's gone through so many different iterations in that time.
So true.
So we're going to sit down and talk a little bit about what has that meant? What do we think it's going to continue to mean for Magic? Is Is it working?
Think about this as like a quarterly check-in with
Yeah.
your boss.
Yeah.
And we're going to give Magic Esports
Ugh, quarterly reviews?
quarterly review and a report card.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Quarterly
A
reviews.
quarterly review? Can you imagine having to sit down with someone about your performance every 4 months?
Oh man, I liked them.
3 months. Every 3 months.
I liked them because that's when you ask for a raise.
That's true. Wait. You asked for a raise every quarter.
Every quarter, I just go back in there. You know what I'm gonna say, boss? Give me them dollars.
Give me that money. Eventually, your boss is like, no more quarterly reviews for you. You're
done.
You're an annual review. Okay.
But yeah, we're going to talk about Magic as we esports now. We're also going to talk about Unsanctioned, which is a new product.
Yes.
That comes out this Friday.
Yeah, and we're going to have a little bit of story time. We've been doing classic Greek mythology, which
Yeah.
has inspired the set. But we're going to talk about what actually they said went down in the Theros story.
Okay, so this is like official Storytime story.
And shout out to the person, someone asked us about the birth of Miletus and where that came from. But anyways, I'll touch on that also.
Okay, it's not the Stone Baby?
What?
The Stone Baby story. Swallowing the Stone Baby.
Oh, that's about Zeus.
Stone Baby. It's my new arena username.
That's Zeus. That's Stone Baby. So if you come across Stone Baby on
It's
Arena,
me. It's definitely
you
me.
know who it is.
Before we get into our show, big thank you to everybody who's a supporter on patreon.com/GLHFmagic. High fives to everybody who's become a new patron since
thank
our last
you
episode.
so much. And we pushed our Patreon pledge drive month back a month this year
To March.
but it is coming up. We're
So
super
excited.
to share with you what our reward will be when we eventually get it. It
Yeah.
has been delayed thanks to coronavirus.
Coronavirus, you ruined
Wow.
everything.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up on the news on that?
I have.
It's
It's
out there,
it's
man.
Spooky.
It is spooky.
It was in Hawaii.
But also less deadly still than the common flu.
Accurate.
So, or fewer deaths.
Yeah.
So, also get your flu shot.
The common flu is my favorite bird.
It's just common flu.
The common flu.
It's common flu.
You know, like when they put common in front of an animal name, I'm always
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
It's just the most basic one.
Basic bird.
It's a basic bird.
But yeah, so that's going to be happening in March, all through March. But yeah, if you love our content, please throw us $1 or $5 for squirrel level, and we'll be so happy.
Yes.
And appreciative.
You get access to our Discord, which is great.
Yeah, I love the Discord.
It's so much fun.
And thanks to Card Kingdom, head on over to cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Use that link to buy anything you want in your magical life, like Unsanctioned coming out on Friday, which is a super fun unset product that'll be super cool and like really cash to battle with your friends.
Yes. They also have their cube is back. Like you can purchase
Yeah, Lumeria.
a cube from
that what
Card
you mean,
Kingdom.
the draft
No, that's
cube?
their draft set.
Oh, you mean their cube
They
that
have
you
like
can
a
just
cube
buy.
cube
Yeah,
that you can buy, like a starter cube.
so cool.
It's back and it's great.
Yeah, I love all of their supplemental
Yes.
products.
If you're like, I would love to start a cube, I don't know how, go check it out on Card Kingdom. Great place to start.
They help you out.
Yeah, they do.
Magic, we
Yes.
esports now.
Yes. So, Magic again about a year ago made the transition to esports. Give me your like headline thought.
All right.
On how
headline
it's going.
thought, it's going great.
Yeah.
That's my headline thought.
I would say like mine would be if I'm making a headline.
Yeah, my headline kind of sucks.
After many stumbles, Magic Esports starts to run.
What if that's too long?
Okay.
You get like, it's got to be front page material.
All right.
Mine would actually be we esports now. That would actually
we
be.
esports now. Mine would fit in a headline.
What did you say?
Like after a few
few
stumbles, Magic Esports starts to run.
Oh yeah, that's it's catchy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we split things up into arena and into tabletop paper. And let's like do a check-in because we've had two big events these past couple of weekends, World Championship.
Yeah.
All on arena. Of course, they had to draft in real life, but that's just because the client's not ready for real life draft yet, but it will be. And then we had Dreamhack happening in Anaheim, which was all on arena.
Do you know what's wild? And this is it's kind of misleading that this is like the first thing that I'm going to say, but it is what just came to mind because most of the events that I've worked at recently have been arena events, and they're also the smaller ones, like the Mythic Championships and especially Worlds, only 16 people.
Yeah.
And I never thought that I would say this because I'm not like a crowds person, but I kind of like I miss all of the people that we used to see.
Yeah, the bigger events.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of the people who weren't quite like MPL level in the old pro system, like weren't quite platinum.
Yeah.
But you still got to see at all of the pro tours because they qualified for all of them.
Yeah, now these people are at the Players Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Which isn't arena.
No.
So you just got to work Players Tour.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, it is less frequent because we're not working GP coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Anymore.
And because like those people just aren't, they're just not at all of like the top build events that we work.
Well, you know what'll be interesting to see though is who gets invited to Mythic Invitational Ikoria.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, all MPL and all rivals, they're going to be invited,
Yes.
no question. But then there'll be the discretionary invites, and there'll be the people who qualify for the tournament, and then
Something like 128, right?
Yeah, it's like
the number of people.
It's way bigger than all the other ones.
Yeah.
What was the last Mythic Championship, like 64 or something?
64, I want to say.
Yeah, so it's like
So we're looking at double
that. Well, that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah. I am very excited for that.
For you, like with these big events and stuff, like all the Mythic Championships, the World Championship, like watching it all happen on Arena, has that felt to you like this is, I don't know, I think maybe some people worry that it would cheapen it.
I think that it's so much easier to follow on Arena.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference to the point now where like I'll admit that when I watch paper coverage now, I'm just sort of like, wow, I can't believe that we used to think
Like
that
this was our life.
That this was as good as it could get.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it's so difficult to see the cards.
yeah, it's hard. And there's just like no good solution, right?
No,
there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. At the end of the day, like it's just a card in a sleeve, like with its little text box at the bottom. That's never going to be an A+ viewing experience through a camera.
As long as you know what the card is, you can follow it.
Exactly.
But if you don't, there is no way.
And even knowing what the cards are, it's just so nice to be able to like immediately read what's happening on the board.
See the damage marked on the creatures.
Exactly. Like you look at a match on Arena, like you tune into it, and you can like tune in, pause it, and just like look at that snapshot and know what's happening.
Right.
Whereas I feel like when you do that with paper, you look at that snapshot and you're like, okay, it's gonna take me a minute. Like, let me parse out like
The board
what are all
state.
these tokens?
What's this life
what's happening
total
over here? Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's so nice.
I feel like after being at context. I was at Dreamhack Anaheim this past weekend, which if you don't know, Dreamhack is an event that's been going on for years and years and years. It started out as a LAN party and has evolved now into like a full convention.
Oh, do you know what's wild?
What? LAN parties?
Yes. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember like the first time I peripherally attended a LAN party in college and I was like, what is this?
What is happening
Like
here?
I had no idea.
Hanging out, playing games
Yes.
on a local area network.
I remember like two people that I knew being at one day being like, oh, we're going to go hang out and play Magic. And I was just like, don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
It's so true.
I remember playing with cards back like when I was a young one, just given to us probably by some high school students. My parents were high school teachers, context. And whoever had like, there's a dragon. Was it Shivan Dragon? I don't know. One.
Yeah,
Because we did not know how to play.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, Dreamhack Anaheim. Okay, so it's an event, and there's a bunch of esports tournaments happening at it. So there's like a Halo tournament. There was a Counter-Strike tournament. There was Hearthstone happening in a very tiny little booth, I must say.
Ooh.
Shade.
Wow,
Hashtag
throwing shade at Hearthstone.
But the Magic setup looked really great. It was well produced. The team knew what they were doing because they had done Hearthstone events previously or whatever. And it was like, yeah, this could be the future of what people go and do and play Magic. And like Twitch Rivals is done remotely. People just play at their houses and like they, find the stream and show the stream, which I think works too. But this is cool because you get the camaraderie of the same thing of like going to a GP, hanging out with your friends, but you bring your laptop, you sit down, the rounds turn way faster. There's like no possibility of cheating.
Yeah.
You don't have to shuffle. There's no rules problems. I mean, for the most part.
Every time that we go to a tournament, I am so thankful for all of the time that won't be spent shuffling.
Yes. Like seriously.
It's a real thing. When you look at the length of the day, how many minutes? Okay,
how many hours of your life?
An 8-round tournament, how much time do you think is like cut out of the day because there isn't shuffling?
So the question then is, how much is a normal shuffle? How long does that take you?
Okay.
Per game.
Including, so like.
Well, let's say we're playing standard.
You have your initial shuffle.
Yep.
Which is you have to get all your cards back.
Okay, I do it like.
Okay, and you've sideboarded. And now you're going to pick up your deck and shuffle.
Like for a minute?
Probably between you doing it and you and your opponent don't necessarily start at the same time. So like by the time, it's probably not a minute, but it's probably.
I was just going to shuffle something just to like approximate how long I shuffle.
Okay. So let's get a deck.
Okay.
Let's see.
Where is the deck? Where is the deck in this office?
It's in a box. Here it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's always. Oh wait, no, these ones aren't sleeved.
Well.
Are there sleeved cards over there?
No, those are just a pile of sleeves. We're organized here. I can shuffle unsleeve.
No.
I'll be a monster.
What? But is that approximating the reality of the?
I don't know.
Of the tournament, Maria.
Here, just let me try. Just let me try it.
Okay, fine.
This will be our baseline. Me shuffling an unsleeved deck.
I'm gonna time you while you shuffle.
Yeah, time me.
This is top podcast content, everybody.
Well, we're doing science here.
Okay, it's true. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go check. Are you sure that those are just piles of sleeves?
Yeah, those are just sleeves.
What if I go look?
But I'm 100%. Trust, everyone. Trust. Consider it. Hey, Megan, what are those?
Piles of sleeves.
All just piles of sleeves, everybody. Oh, you found a sleeve deck?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what it is.
It's probably not even a full deck, but.
No, it's probably not. I don't even know how many cards this is. So, like, how scientific is this really, this whole process? Honestly. Okay. All right, I've got some cards here. Feels like 40. So this is now a limited event.
Yeah. Oh, so it is less shuffling time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start a timer. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't start.
I'm not starting it.
And wait, what I want is a stopwatch. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Okay. All right, let's continue talking about stuff,
right.
and I'll just be like, this is how long I normally shuffle.
Yeah, and we can pretend like we're opponents.
Yeah.
Like we're just talking about like what's happening right now.
Oh, tell me where you play.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is where I'm from, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Okay, I finished sideboarding and now I'm starting to shuffle.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to add that time on at the end of it. Just for like me having started a little bit after you.
So like you play a lot of draft?
Yeah.
Or like...
Oh, no, I really love draft. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like you're not even pile counting right
No.
now, which is some people do.
No. Hey, do you like your pool? Like,
oh, it's
I think
fine.
that question is so funny when people ask it.
Like I'm not gonna like give you a genuine answer.
Okay, now I present for you to cut.
Okay, that was 45 seconds.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't even a minute.
Yeah, 45
right,
seconds.
45
but
seconds.
I think like it's not wrong to be like adding another 15 on there.
For sure.
For like again, like if whoever starts later than the other person shuffling, if your opponent is someone who pile counts their deck.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pick it up.
It's a foil hydrate crisis.
Wow. It really, dang, what are we just running around here with?
What is this deck?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So I think a minute, and then what do we call it, 2 or whatever?
Yeah. I would call it, let's say like a minute and a half.
Okay.
Because you don't spend as much time shuffling your opponent's deck as you do your own.
True.
You just shuffle it for a few. So a minute and a half.
Yep.
Per game.
Per game.
And if you like...
If you always go to 3 games.
If you always go to 3. All right.
I was told there would be no math.
So like 90 seconds times 3 games times 8 rounds.
Somebody's going to tweet at us and be like, you are doing this so wrong.
I'm sure.
This is not how you should be.
36 minutes.
Holy cow.
36 minutes in a day.
An hour.
Yeah, like your day is half an hour shorter because people aren't shuffling decks. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, and it's instantaneous between games as well.
Can you imagine that? Like that's the reality.
That's what it happens. And that's just like a small thing. But for me...
And we didn't even count mulligan shuffles.
No, we didn't count mulligans. We didn't count sideboarding, which is also very quick.
Yes.
And like, anyway, what it made me think being at this tournament was, oh, I would love to do this. I would love to play in this. It seems really cool. You have to have a laptop, of course, but.
Do you know what we also didn't talk about? Sorry, I'm still back on the time thing.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about time extensions for deck checks.
Yeah, no deck checks.
So that's like, you know, in a round, assuming like if you would deck check a match that goes to time, that's like 15 extra minutes.
Yeah.
So we're looking, I mean, I would say we get a solid hour cut out of our day.
I think you're right.
Like the day is an hour shorter solely by virtue of being on Arena, which is a very relevant thing. That's an hour of time that you don't have to try and fill with like supplemental content on a broadcast.
Oh, for sure.
Which is a huge thing.
And once there's a spectator mode on Arena, it's even going to get even better.
Yes.
Because then you can just drop in to any match.
Do you remember when we used to have huge debates about what should happen during a broadcast when there was a judge call on a feature match?
Yes.
Guess what will never happen?
That.
Not never. I bet you it will happen once.
I mean, somebody will find something to complain about. But like, yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Like wild.
They just don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So like a better viewing experience overall, better playing experience from all of these metrics that we've said. Of course, like I do still love playing paper Magic. There's just something about it that I really, really enjoy playing with real cards. But what I'm saying is like this option being there at like kind of a quote unquote Grand Prix sort of level is really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. A lot of people said the event was super, like, it felt very relaxed and chill somehow.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that just playing a game on Arena takes away a lot of, like, potential things you could be worried about playing against somebody in real life.
Sometimes, like, just the interaction can be a lot.
Yeah. Interaction, you know, if you're, like, you know, worried about looking at your opponent, how they're shuffling their deck or something like that. Or, you know, just, you know, oh, shoot, did I forget to de-sideboard?
Yeah.
None of these things are problems anymore.
Yeah.
So... I think the broadcast was really cool, and the event overall was really cool too. And same with the World Championship. I think that looked really slick.
It looked really good.
You know? And it made me like, I was walking around that convention center and I was like, I'm proud to be a part of the Magic team here at this thing. Like, I know there's like people playing shooters over there or Fortnite or whatever, and they're like, we are the real esports.
Did you just call it shooters?
Yeah, like Counter-Strike, first-person shooter.
People over there playing shooters.
Shooting games, I should say, or whatever, like what you think of, like when most people think of esports.
Yeah.
Like Rocket League, but I'm a car playing soccer.
I'm a car playing soccer.
Which is also just as bizarre.
That's
so like,
the real esport.
Whatever.
Do you know what you can't do? You can't do IRL, drive a car that's playing soccer.
I want to see someone play it in real life.
Oh, there's got to be a video of that, right?
Recipe for disaster. There has to be. Somebody has to have done it.
Yes. It's also really cool to think of Magic just being in the same space as all of those.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
A place that it's been like excluded from.
Yeah. Like, hey, we can roll up here with all of you.
Not like consciously excluded, but just like by virtue of not having that kind of presence.
Yes. And giving people, I think, the option to play this game in this way makes it like people regard it as, what am I trying to say? Gosh, my tired brain's catching up with me. But like, you know,
I don't know. I don't know where I would try and fill it in, but I don't know where you're going.
Like it could never have been regarded as something that you can play, win a bunch of money at, flashy kind of thing like that.
Yes, it's gotten significantly flashier
without this client. And to be fair, like it's one of the only, if not the only esport where you can have a career like through the MPL and Rivals. Like there's a lot of debate on like how sustainable that is or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it is your job, you know, and you don't have to worry about finding another team or whatever. You can do it just as your own self.
As your own self. It's wild to think that 2 years ago at the World Championship, they were hyping up the fact that it was the first place $100,000 top prize.
That's true.
And we're 2 years in and they tripled it. $300K.
Wow.
So while we're talking about it, like obviously we've been super positive. I think that it has brought a lot of positive things to Magic.
Yeah.
That's not to say that it hasn't been without its trade-offs and like some of its questionable stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the biggest things is sort of like, is this an investment that is long-term going to pay off? Like, is this a sustainable way that they're doing this?
It's got to be, right? Else, oof.
I mean, like, it has to be. Does that mean that it is?
I sure hope so. I don't know enough.
I also hope so,
about
obviously.
the back end of how it's being created, but I guess I assume so because of how long it took them to get into the playing field with it, because they were so reticent about hiring like an outside company to work on it, because they did want it to be sustainable in-house.
Yeah.
You know?
And here's another, like, this question skews more towards like what's happening in the community.
Yeah.
But if they're putting this amount of money into the top prize and into things like the World's trailer,
Yep.
Which was, really so well produced.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see it all put together. It was cool to see those videos individually, like all of that stuff. Really awesome. But still, like, if the top things that people are still talking about on Twitter or on Reddit are still highly negative, things that are negative that are happening in the community, thinking back to like the same week that people were talking about the trailer, what were people talking about way more? Frank Karsten and not being able to
publish results.
Results and data. Like, what if you're the people looking at investing that money and you say, well, we spent this money on the trailer and the thing that people talked about was this negative thing that happened instead?
Yeah, I think the 2 points from that stand out to me is like, people always going to be complaining.
Yes. And also, is Magic approaching a point where it is investing so much more money that I think in the past, like, that negativity was sort of like, well, Magic is growing, but it's not making any huge, big new pushes or investments. And so that negativity is sort of like, okay, it's not driving anything and it's not repressing anything. Is it to the point where if they're making those big investments, now if the top thing is negativity, it's going to start to scale that back?
Maybe we're putting too much importance on some angry people on Reddit, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's true, but we also don't know, like, what is the feedback that their team is looking at?
I don't know.
Like, are they only going to look at how many people tuned into the broadcast, or are they going to look into how many people watched that video or had positive things to say about it online?
I think the latest Hasbro earnings call for investors showed that Magic had pretty good growth in Arena and tabletop, and had a negative in Magic Online.
Yes.
Is what they reported there. But that Arena had more than made up for the drop in online, Magic Online.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of data.
That makes sense. So you're hoping that what they're looking at is the fact that it's still a growing game.
Yes.
I guess I'm just saying that, like, if you think that things like that trailer are very cool, then you need to make sure that you're saying it.
Oh, for sure.
Because if they spend a bunch of money on a trailer and the only thing that they see are people talking about something else, then why are they going to spend money on that trailer again? And I think that trailer was a super smart move and was very cool. Like, that was the right thing for them to be doing.
Think about like the Throne of Eldraine one, like the hype level for that was through the roof because of that.
So just like, that's just something that is on my mind sometimes.
Yeah. Remember to like be positive about the things that you like.
Which isn't to say like, don't not be critical.
No, right.
Like,
exactly.
Yes, if there's things that you need to push back on them, but make sure that if something is right, that you're also saying that, because positive feedback is like the most effective form of feedback.
And they definitely look for it.
Yes.
For sure. So it's not going into the void.
Yeah.
But I think the split too from like, people are worried that paper events will die out because of Arena. I think from what I've been hearing, at least, what's the word for when I'm just hearing it,
Hearsay? Gossip?
Anecdotally.
Oh, yes.
It is that they're seeing a raise in the amount of people coming out to FNMs and stuff in stores.
That's great. I would really hope so.
I hope that is not just anecdotal and that is actually what is happening across the board.
Yeah.
But that is the majority of what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. And I really hope, like, I as much as I talked about like how much more positive the viewing experience is for broadcasts on Arena, like, I want the players tour to be there.
Absolutely.
I think that it's super important. I think that you need to have those high level paper tournaments.
100%.
I think that they are one of the backbones of Magic.
Yep.
It's spooky to think of something having more than two backbones. Just want to point that out real quick. Like it is, right? Like
It's
it just
really
is.
creepy.
It's really creepy.
Klingons have 2 backbones.
Do they?
All of their systems are redundant.
Why?
I don't know if that means they're bones though.
Actually, I don't like you.
All
Can't
their
have,
organs are redundant.
You can't have 2 sets of bones.
Megan's just like, no, you know what? No way.
You're trying to tell me that a Klingon has 2 skulls?
Okay, you're right. It's only organs. It must be only organs.
Okay.
So they have 2 brains.
That's what I was about to ask next.
Ooh, we'll dive into this later.
Anyways.
Anyways, the future for me looks very bright.
Yeah.
For Magic as an esport. I was very excited to be involved in like an early esports event within Worlds and at this Dreamhack thing and being like, hey, you know what? We can hang.
Yeah.
You know what? Cars that kick around soccer balls, we can hang.
We can hang with you.
And this was my point from earlier. Okay, I got it back.
Okay.
Not only can you play cars, soccer ball game, shooty game, but you can also play high level strategy, best game. Now, the same way that you can play all those other games,
which is awesome. Like that is only a positive thing. Which is really great.
Yeah. Let's talk about Unsanctioned that's coming out this Friday. We haven't actually talked about it a lot on this show.
Yes, I'm super excited.
And we love unsets.
Yes.
And this is like kind of an unset.
Kind of. It's where, right, you get, like, it has all 5 colors, and you pick 2 and shuffle them together.
Yeah.
And then you have an opponent, and they pick 2 and shuffle them together. And then you battle each other.
And you can get a little box, of this and just be like, let's battle. Let's go. I love this set because the cards are so funny.
Yes.
And I love that the augment mechanic is returning.
Yes.
In this set.
Oh, we are such big fans of augment.
It's so good.
I love it.
So you wanted to talk about what you're most excited
Yes,
for.
what you're most excited for.
And I love the weird augment combinations you can make. And so I'm really looking forward to making Bat Rat, which is half bat, half rat. And it rhymes. What does Bat Rat do?
Okay, so bat is the augment, so it's the front part that needs to be played onto a creature.
Yeah.
And it has flying. It gives the creature +1/+1. Its augment cost is 1 and a black. And it says at the beginning of each end step, and if an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn. ... And then you get to do whatever the back half of the augment is. Rat, which the original is dirty rat. Poor rat.
You could play dirty something else.
Yes. No, it's its prefix that you're always going to cover up.
Oh, okay.
So it starts out as a dirty rat, and then it becomes whatever else.
Oh, yeah,
it
that's
becomes. Right. 1 and a black for a 1/1. It says target opponent discards a card. So the original is when this creature enters the battlefield. So Bat Rat would at your end step, each end step, if an opponent lost 3 or more life, make them discard a card.
Bat Rat.
Bat
Rat's coming for you.
Yes.
If you want a super fun, silly Magic experience,
yes,
we recommend the unsets. They're so cool.
Yes. And it has like some callbacks to some older cards, which is very cool, or like some, originals from the unsets, where there's, more infernal spawns of evil.
Yeah, that's really
an
cute.
infernal spawn of an infernal spawn of evil. Which is, delightful. I love those callbacks. I like that we're seeing, we had Spike in the last unset, and now we get to see Johnny combo player.
Cool.
Which lets you search up cards.
I love it.
Delightful. Yeah. So, it's just so cool. Look at me. I'm the DCI.
Reprint.
Which is a reprint. So that's 5 white for ban a card other than a basic land card for the rest of the match. There you go.
I love it. And now we have a new one to go with it. Look at me. I'm R&D.
Yes.
It's an enchantment. Look at me. I'm R&D. It's like written all over because it's like a playtest card.
Yes.
I'm trying to read it.
Oh, here, we can make it larger.
Okay. Look at me. I'm R&D. Enters the battlefield. Choose a number and a second number, 1 higher or lower than the first number. Okay. All instances of the first chosen number in the full text of each permanent spell and card in any zone are changed to the second chosen number.
Ooh, boy. That's
cool.
That's a lot. But it'll
break your brain a little bit.
Delightful. Return of Ordinary Pony. We can have bat pony now.
Oh, bat pony.
Humming pony. Humming rat.
Humming rat.
Humming kitten.
Knight of the Hokey Pokey.
Bat kitten.
What crazy card names. I'm into it.
So delightful. So yeah, go and have a great time playing this. It's just what we're saying.
Yeah, I want to pick this up.
Yeah.
For sure.
People were so excited about Alexander Clamilton.
How could you not be excited about Alexander Clamilton?
Which I want to say they announced is the playmat for some special event.
Oh, is it really?
Up in the future.
Great.
Yes. 2 and a blue for an 0/4 legendary creature Clamfolk Advisor Rebel. Whenever you cast a wordy spell, scry 2. A spell is wordy if it has 4 or more lines of rules text.
So this is definitely wordy.
Yes. 1 in a red, tap, choose target creature you don't control. Reveal the top card of your library. Alexander Clamilton gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of lines of rules text of the revealed card. Alexander Clamilton fights that creature.
Oh, they're dueling.
Duels.
And wordy because he writes a lot.
Duel. Great.
I love it.
So funny. So yeah. Oh, go have a great time.
Unsanctioned coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
It's time for Storytime with Meghan.
Yes. So we're going to briefly go through what actually happened on Theros in Theros Beyond Death.
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot, like Meghan said, of actual Greek mythology, how it ties into the cards. This is the official Magic story.
Yes. Oh, and someone asked us about Birth of Miletus and if I knew what myth it came from, and the answer is I don't know. The most iconic myth of a god being born is Athena, who sprung from Zeus's mind fully formed.
Wow.
Which is delightful.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, exactly. So from his forehead. So that's the only one that I feel like maybe it could be, because it's the only one that's really notable.
Yeah.
We did talk about the whole, the Titans, and that what's her name? Gaia, I think, having to fool them and give them a stone to swallow.
Stone baby.
Stone baby. But anyways, yeah. So what's actually happening on Theros?
Okay.
So we pick up where Elspeth, did Heliod's dirty work and killed Xenagos.
Yep.
And then Heliod was like, "Oh no, Elspeth could become more popular than us." And it turns out that originally, the devotion of people was what created the gods. So their power waxes and wanes according to their devotion.
Oh, so American gods.
Yes. Yeah, actually, kind of. And he was like, if she could become more powerful if people learn this myth.
Oh,
and so he's
dangerous.
He strikes her down into the underworld. And she originally is supposed to go rest on the Isle of Heroes. Or whatever, because she was a real big hero.
Yeah.
Except that Ashiok is there, and they really like tormenting everybody with nightmares. And they torment Elspeth specifically.
Ashiok gave me that weird nightmare the other night.
Yes. So Ashiok torments Elspeth with nightmares, just kind of perpetually. And
Rude.
Interestingly, apparently Ashiok, I think, learns of the Phyrexians from Elspeth's nightmares.
Uh-oh.
Right? They give her nightmares, but it's based on her own tormented past with the Phyrexians. And so Ashiok later on is apparently sometime in the story is peace out. I need to go learn more about these spooky folks.
Oh, we keep being we're going to go back to Phyrexia.
And so this is an actual lead in that direction, maybe. Is them being hey, I need to go find out more about these. But also, so in all of the tormenting dreams that Ashiok is giving Elspeth, there's also, it includes one about when Heliod struck Elspeth down.
Okay.
And apparently Ashiok's nightmares are so potent that sometimes they're basically real, they're in the physical world. So in one of them, Elspeth is able to grab the spear from Heliod and wakes up and still has a corrupted version of that spear, basically. Whoa. Which is the shadow spear that's in the set.
Oh, cool.
So that's an actual thing. So Elspeth has that. And I'm trying to remember, there's at some point there's rifts that started appearing in the underworld, and I'm trying to remember why those start happening, but I don't remember.
Just rifts.
Yes. And Elspeth is just I just want to rest, but she hears about the rifts, and so she's I guess my job isn't done. And so she starts making her way through the underworld. And as she goes, she tells people that the spear that she has is the real spear and she's going to help get them out. And so people start believing in her more and more.
Oh, Heliod's plan is backfiring.
Exactly. So it eventually gets to the point where Heliod hears word of this and goes down there to fight with Elspeth. And there's a whole bunch of other weird stuff that happened. Like Daxos and Elspeth were like together apparently at one point in the original Theros story. And he also died, I want to say. Oh, I think this is how the rifts happen. Like Daxos died and Heliod wanted to like have a champion to like go throughout the land and, you know, like do good things
like
in
a
his
Hercules.
name. Exactly, to raise his devotion again. And so he gets Daxos back from the underworld and is like, you're my champion now. But I think getting him back maybe is part of what causes that rift.
Okay, that would make sense.
So he has that champion now. And the other gods are like, wait a second. Like, you can't be the only one with a champion.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So Daxos is going around like doing things in Heliod's name or whatever. And they're all having like big battles or whatever. All of the champions of the gods.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
More important, Elspeth trying to make her way towards the rifts in the that laid out of the underworld. And then Heliod eventually goes down there and is like, I'm going to challenge you. Like, you can't do this.
I'm going to double kill you.
I'm going to double kill you, essentially. Except that Elspeth, like I said, has been like going through the underworld being like, this is the real spear of Heliod. Like, I am your real champion.
Ooh.
And so all of the people she has, like, all of the people believe in her spear more than Heliod's spear. And she like shatters his. And Erebos is like classic. So part of classic Greek mythology is that Hades is mad at Zeus because Hades essentially got tricked into ruling the underworld.
Yeah.
And he is like, this is a real bummer of a place, but it's too late at that point.
Guess I got to rule it.
So he's like pissed, understandably so,
Yeah.
at his brother all of the time. And so there's also some of that in the Erebos Heliod dynamic. And so seeing Heliod laid low, Erebos gives him what is essentially the same punishment as Atlas has, which is to hold up the world. So Heliod is left holding something very heavy. And who knows, maybe someday he'll just disappear if people forget about him because he's down in the underworld holding some heavy stuff.
That's Heliod's punishment.
Yeah. Also, Atlas was one of the Titans originally, if people don't know that.
Yeah.
Which is why he was punished by having to hold up the earth.
Can I just say this, though?
Yeah.
Heliod's punishment, so disappointing.
It really is.
That card is not good.
No. It's like totally fine.
I guess
It's
if
not
you're
bad.
if you're playing white aggro,
Exactly. You have to be aggro.
no other deck.
Yeah. Agree. Anyways, yeah, so
Okay, so is she out?
yes.
She out. She
out.
escape.
She escape.
And
But also, as all those rifts are happening, obviously lots of other
stuff is
bad
coming out.
things.
Yeah.
Wait, also, I'm remembering something.
What?
So there was also, sorry, it's like a very short, dense summary that I read that's on the website.
Okay.
That's all that we got of Theros' story. So it's kind of hard for my mind to remember all of it because there weren't a lot of details and it doesn't happen over a lot of time. It's just like, here are the bullet points. Clothes there was also on Theros the same kind of like, there are bad titans. There were bad titans in the past. And they were consigned to the underworld once the gods had their devotion.
Yeah,
and
the
rose.
binding of the Titans.
Exactly. So they were all down there, and Clothes agreed to basically watch over them. And so I also want to say that there was something along the lines of like when Clothes also had something to do with why the rifts happen.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Come on, Clothes.
I know.
Get it together.
I mean, she was doing a nice thing,
But now they out.
but now
This is why Uros and Standard.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Clothes.
Thanks, Clothes. Yeah, so that's, the summary, like the very quick and dirty version of it.
Great. That's
Yeah.
what I needed to know.
Elspeth out. Ashiok, one of the most important things,
Ashiok
was like,
Phyrexians.
hello, Phyrexians. Those sound like my people.
And Heliod's like, hold it in Earth.
Yes. And Erebos was like, ha ha.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good 5-second summary.
Before we go, Ultra Pro.
Ultra Pro, so great. Thank you for being one of our other sponsors of our lovely show.
Yes, that whether you're looking for deck boxes to hold your excellent decks in, you're looking for card sleeves to protect your beautiful cards, if you're looking for nice dice to roll, whether you're playing something like D&D or if you're playing Magic or any other dice rolling game that you need to provide your own dice for, Ultra Pro's got it.
They've got you
going on.
They've got a really cool new series of products that has the orange Planeswalker logo.
Yeah.
Which is like their Pro series, and it's on binders, it's on deck boxes. It looks really slick.
Yes.
Really clean, and it make you look like you're the MPL basically. Carrying that stuff around. I've also pulled out one of their Elko flip boxes that has the guild symbols. This one's Golgari. So if you're that kind of person, geez, I don't know who that is, but
wow, did you just burn all Golgari players?
I just burned every Golgari player. You can get a sweet Elko deck box like this. They're really, really beautiful. I highly recommend for anybody who likes aligns with their guild and is like, I want something that shows it off, because I have the Rakdos one and I love it.
Yes.
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five.
Wow. Dang, we did it.
I survived it.
Yeah, you did.
Despite seeing time in the form of flames through the entire episode.
I'm going to go wash my hands a bunch because you're kind of sick.
Yeah, I know. But what are you going to do? Like 3 weeks on the road, man.
It'll
get you.
Your immune system is like, I'm tired.
It's like, I'm done with this. I felt like I was going to tell people something. I was going to tell them about the winner of our February drawing.
Ooh.
So we have a swag drawing every month.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's in the show notes or under the video. And
you have a very good chance of winning because not many people think to enter it.
I don't know why people don't enter this, because
we tell people every month.
It's free stuff, people.
It's sick stuff from our awesome sponsors.
Anyway, congratulations to friend of the show, Chris Farrell. You're a winner.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Send us an email and we'll send you a sick swag box.
Yeah, and we have to send out last month's too, but February is a very crazy month for us, so we apologize for being late.
Yeah.
On that, we've got some back orders.
We were never home.
We were never home.
We were never home.
I paid a mortgage on for some reason for my cats.
Yeah.
They needed somewhere to live.
Yeah, they do.
But
do you ever just buy a house for your cat?
I work harder every day so my cats can have a better life, all right?
Yeah, same.
That's what it is. So congratulations. Enter our March one. It'll be up soon. Patreon Pledge Drive month coming up, starting next episode, which will be really exciting.
It's gonna be so exciting.
I think that's basically all that all the news that I have to say. Oh, congratulations to our board game channel.
Oh, it hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, if we haven't talked about it in a while. Yeah. If you like board games.
Very cute video up this week.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. You have to check it out. It's a review of Bermuda Pirates.
Especially if you're looking for a game that's great for kids of all ages.
Yeah. Check it out. It's youtube.com/GLHF board games. Hit that sub button if you like quick, concise, funny reviews and playthroughs featuring Megan and myself.
Yeah.
Which are always entertaining.
It's a real party.
It's a cool channel.
So, until next time, doop.
Yeah, what she said.